I do not care if you win or lose, but I care if you're boring.
And as always, since day one, Southern Hands Slugfest. Knockouts guaranteed.
Hello, everyone. How you doing today? Welcome to Southern Hands Slugfest Dirty Boxing Podcast, Episode 6. And I'm joined by a very special guest sitting across from me, Hunter Megawatts. Hunter, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
Yeah, honored to have you here, man. Honestly, it's I'm glad we can line this up and make this happen, man. So you've had a very interesting trajectory with the promotion and stuff. We're going to go over a lot of cool stuff. So before we dive into anything, I just want to highlight some of this man's accolades as he's accomplished with the promotion. So this is Hunter Megawatts. He has 12 fights with the promotion. He's logged 32 rounds inside those ropes over the course of 4 different tournaments. Out of 248 different fighters, only 6 men have 10 or more wins. Hunter is one of those. He was the Southern Hands Slugfest 7 lightweight runner-up and the Southern Hands Slugfest 10 lightweight champion. And he's ranked number 7 out of 248 different fighters in our all-time rankings. And so that's just a couple of things he's done over the course of 4 tournaments. So a very accomplished fighter sitting across from me. Hunter, I want to take you back to the beginning a little bit, man. You made your debut at Southern Hands Slugfest 6. That was July 29, 2023. What do you remember about, like, first hearing about the promotion? I know you and Snotty are buddies and stuff like that, but just what'd you see about it or what'd you hear about it going into it? What made you, like, take the leap and sign up, man? Just getting your feet back into the pond.
You know, just seeing and hearing about it, and then, of course, you know, my buddy Snotty, and then I came to a couple of them, and then I was like, man, I've been out of boxing for so long, so I was like, this is something for me to get my spark back. This is something for me to get back in the game, get to doing what I love to do. Yeah. And so I got in there. I came home from offshore and I was big, so I was like, there ain't no way I can get down to lightweight right now, so I'll take a fight at middleweight. So I lost 30 pounds then just to make the middleweight. And I think I weighed in at 185 on that one. Yep. And then now I'm down to where I need to be, my fight weight, where I'm supposed to be.
A lot of people forget that. Hunter made his debut at middleweight with us and just had to knock the ring rust and get some rounds in. And you signed up, man. I had heard a lot about you. I heard a lot of good things about you from a lot of people who just been in gyms with you and stuff. How many years exactly were you out the ring? I remember like 7, 8, 9 years, something like that.
It's 7 years. It was 7 years I was out the ring at the point in time. Yeah. You know, and then now I made that comeback and I felt great.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the difference between being 22-year-old and 30 years old.
So it was a big difference.
Big difference, man. And you lost the weight. You came in and you signed up for the 6th one, Summertime Slugging. That was a fun one. That was our first one at the Biloxi Civic Center. And I'm going to take you through what you did that night really quickly just to refresh all of our viewers. So you made your debut fight, and actually still to this day, your debut fight's one of my favorite Hunter Watts fights. I mean, as expected, you came in and you told me what you were going to do and you did it. You let your hands go. You know, I've seen so many fights I couldn't even count, but I remember right away what stood out is the body attack. Guys don't really change levels as much in these, you know what I'm saying? So, and you don't have as much time to work and set stuff up, so you got to get busy quick. But the changing of levels was next level. I remember that, which I was like, damn, this guy he sits down on body shots. He gives guys a lot to think about. And you got good feet. You have a lot of great attributes about you. But, yeah, I love that fight. You fought Curtis Coffrin, and you won by TKO. What you remember about that fight, man?
I just remember, like, I had the jitters at first. Yeah. And like, it wasn't like a scared jitter. It was just like being back in front of a crowd again, you know. And then it was a big crowd that night. It was coming back in, and then – you know, soon as I got in the bell ring, the jitters were over. It was like, it's time to work. And I went to work, and I felt great when I did it.
You had a lot of supporters there, man. They were excited to see you back in the ring. And you told me something one time. You probably don't remember saying it to me. It was probably a couple months ago. You said it. You go, dude, I'm uncomfortable out of the ring.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable when that bell rings. You know, you're like, I don't even know how to be when I'm not fighting and competing and stuff like that. So you told me that. So you caught your groove when that opening bell hit, man. I remember you telling me that, and you looked comfortable in there and well schooled and all that. Who is Denver to you? Is that your uncle?
That's my uncle. Yeah. That's my mom's brother, and you know that he's been my coach since I was out the room. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but
I
yeah,
remember Coach back at Point Cadet Boxing Club. Katrina ruined it. Great gym. I grew up Laurel Court by the point, down on the point and all
Yeah.
that. My uncle Rodney was a coach. You remember Freddie?
Yeah, Freddie.
Williams and all them. So,
Yep.
and Tiger Stokes came out of there.
All them,
guys. So,
yeah.
And my uncle Rusty Box. But I remember Coach Denver. He was a hell of a coach.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was awesome, man. Yeah.
He was he was great. He was great. He put you through a lot, you know. And but it was all for the good. It was always make you better.
Right.
He never looked at anyone no different than the other. Everybody's going to do the same thing and do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, man. I remember him being. He was by the book, and he had a style about him. Man, that was a good old gym. I miss that gym. I'm reminiscing right now. What you train now? You train in Ocean Springs. You got a little gym over there, don't you?
Yeah. My parents got a personal trainer gym over there, and then after they get through with their personal training, we do a little bit of boxing out of there.
Yeah. You ever thought about getting into coaching? I heard you took a couple guys.
Yeah, I do. Man. Yeah, I do a little coaching with some guys around there, you know, to help them out and see what their dreams are, and we might pursue them and see where they want to go with it.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I think that's definitely something you should get into. You know, coaching can be a different animal. You know, you're dealing with other people. And,
it's harder for me right now on the coaching, trying to train and be a coach at the same time. So my stepdad helps me out a lot with it. So like he does all the agilities and all that, and then I'll just do the technical stuff with him. You know, so I can have time to think about what I need to be doing and staying focused and keep moving forward.
Shout out to Coach Ron. I love that guy, man. He's just, every time I talk to him, bro, he makes me smile. I love that man. He's optimistic and a great person. So you moved on to the quarterfinals. You fought Caleb Guillory, a little bit of a controversial fight. We remember that one. Caleb, real quick, I don't know how much you knew about him and all that. He had fought from you multiple tournaments. I wanted to test you early, and Caleb's record with me was 5-1 heading to that fight. And his only loss was Cade Miles. Yeah. So he's a credible dude. You can fight. Yeah. I put him in there with some boys, and Caleb, he's a hard hitter, man. He's short and stout and compact, and he can fight. He always shows up in shape. I don't see him get tired ever. But what do you remember about that fight, man? It was close.
It was a close fight, and even out of all the controversy out of that, it wasn't even his fault. So I was never mad at him. Sure. You know, so me and him, even we talked after that. I've texted him and talked to him several times. I haven't talked to him in a while, but after that fight, you know, we kept up with each other after that. You know, it wasn't no hard feelings toward him, and still there ain't no. It wasn't even a promoter. There ain't no hard feelings no more about that.
You mean you talked that?
I talked that. It was everything's good.
Yep.
You know?
It was perfect, man. It was a good debut showing for you, regardless. It was awesome, and you know, you never know, man. Like, people can get discouraged and they go away and shit like that. And man, I mean, I think you texted me like 2 or 3 days later. It was like, I'm in, baby. Yeah. So you signed up for the next one, man. Southern Hand Slugfest 7, back at the same venue, September 30th. And it was good to see you come back. And this was your lightweight debut. So you really got your feet underneath you. You know, you were cutting weight, and you got down to 160. Yeah. And how'd that feel, man? Dropping all that weight.
The first time, to be honest with you, the first time I did, I thought I felt great. But once I started getting in the rounds, I could feel. I was like, yeah, there's certain things I needed to work. I was too much worried about losing weight than, you know, doing everything else. Sure. So now, like, I sit around a certain weight to when it's time. Yep. I can cut down and I can do my weight. Yeah. I can do my work.
You got any advice for guys cutting weight, man? Anything you tell people? I know these events are a little different because it's same day weigh-ins. Yeah. So it's a little different. But what would you recommend to people?
To me, I wouldn't cut weight 2-3 days before the fight. You don't try to cut no 20 pounds. That's right. Just do it. If you got 4 weeks, you got 5 weeks, you better start then and there. When you sign up, that's when you start.
That's right.
You know, and then say this time I had almost 14 weeks before. Yeah. You know, so I knew ahead of time. I just slowly work my way down. You just slowly do it. Don't cut fast. That's right. Because if you do it, you ain't got a time. If you waited in the day before, you might have some time to rehydrate back up and be all right.
That's right.
But the same night, no, you ain't. There's no way.
There's no time, man. Your legs will be dead. Gone. You'll be drained, man. So, cutting weight's an art for sure. And don't rush it. It's a slow process. You become, you get more, your walk around weight gets closer to your fighting weight. You know? So you don't blow up in between fights and stuff. So, you know how that is, man. But, that was a really fun tournament going into event 7. So you made your sophomore tournament with us and a lightweight debut. So I put you in there with Cody the Savage Presley. I I love Cody Beasley so much.
Yeah, I do. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. He's
so
fun.
styles make fights, as you know, man. And he's such an awkward fighter. It's hard to look good against Cody. Like Cody's the guy you can beat his ass, but you won't look good doing it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because he's got that awkwardness to him.
Man, punches from all angles. And hard to time a guy like that.
Yeah.
You know? So Cody was interesting, man. He's all over the place. He's just a real just wild street fighter, man. So what do you remember about that fight? Cody is so tough, man. That dude is just he's with no formal training, the guys he's took on and made it the distance is he's such a naturally tough person. He's fought in I think 7 tournaments for me. It's hard to finish that guy.
Yeah,
that guy's there.
I do remember. This is what I do remember about him, and I knew he was tough right here and then and there. I knew he was already kind of tough, but I didn't know how tough because if you remember in the second round. He had his hand up, and I hit him with a body shot, and I folded him. He went down like most people when they go down like that, they don't come back up.
Body shots are different. If you've never been hit by a good liver shot or anything, it ain't about toughness. Your organs shut down. You take a knee at minimum, So body shot is just a different thing. You hit him hard, and he crumbled over. And 9 out of 10 men do stay down.
And he got up. And he got up, and he finished the whole entire fight.
I know, and kept throwing punches.
Yeah, and kept throwing punches at that.
Cody is so game, man. I love that dude, man. He's tough as nails. So I knew he'd make you work, break a sweat a little bit and stuff like that. And he's a fun guy to go in there against and let your hands go. So that was a fun fight. And then we took you into the quarterfinals. You fought Angel Little Beast Martinez. He's an MMA veteran, hard hitting Mexican, very short and compact. Throws good hooks. He's sneaky. I don't know what. I actually went back and watched that fight a couple of days ago. He definitely beat you the first round, and then you put on a clinic in the second and third and take it on. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you remember about him? And he was a little different.
It was different because the way he was short, and then he got shorter. Like he got down low, and so I wasn't really anticipating that when I was training and that. So after the first round, I knew all right, this is what I got to do, and I started doing what I had to do.
You picked up his timing, man. Your in and out movement, and you got to fight certain guys certain ways, man. That's how it is. The sign of a good fighter, something I look for immediately is adjustments. Mid-fight adjustments. That's what I look for. So you did that, man, and you put on a clinic. I rewatched it. I mean, you hit him with some clean counters. You caught him coming in constantly, and he landed his shots too. Angel's great. He's actually in the next one. He signed up, so looking forward to getting him back in there.
That's good.
Yeah, that dude, he's tough. He's a scrapper, man. So another guy who made you go rounds and made you work, but you won by unanimous decision. Very close fight. And then you fought Ryan Rugrat Williams. Ryan's a special dude. Man.
Yeah,
so
I like him too.
A couple things about Ryan real quick when you matched up with Ryan in the semifinals is so Ryan won the event before. He was the returning lightweight champion. He was on a 6-fight win streak at Southern Slugfest. He was 7-1 going into that fight. So that was interesting. It was high stakes. One thing about Rugrat, he fights hard.
He did.
He fights hard, man. Yeah, you know that about him. So that's what I love about him. I ain't got to worry about Ryan fighting hard. So
he's gonna come.
Yeah, he's gonna come. What you remember about him, man, and what he brought to the table and stuff?
I watched him on the 3 fights before mine, and then when we fought, I just knew what I had to do. I had to be just on the inside of his punches and slipping because he's throwing them straight down the pipe, and that was it. And I knew that, so that's how I countered him. Every time he threw, I came in every single time, and I knew I had to do that to beat him.
Yeah. It was an interesting stylistic matchup. I could see you slowly figuring them out, and Ryan had beat some dudes, man. I mean, I could lift off some of the names of the guys he's beat. Where there was a couple of times where I was like, this seems like this guy's gonna be, and then he would beat him, man.
Yeah.
He just fights so hard. He gives 100%. Whatever his ceiling is, he fights to 100% of it. That dude, I'm telling you, man. So I appreciate that a lot about Rugrat. But that was a good win for you, beating the former champion from the last event. So I started putting you in a different air as far as what you were doing and what you were moving towards. So that was a fun fight. That was an important fight. Look at the fighter send me a license right there. Never stops, brother. Never stops.
Hey, that's beautiful. Keep signing them up.
That's right. So that took you into the finals, your first ever championship finals, and you fought CJ Rock Randall, a scrapper, a great boxer from Starkville, Mississippi. And what do you remember about CJ going into that, man? It was a long night. You built
I knew
up to it.
When I got in there, I thought he was gonna come like he did all the other rounds, but he sat back and boxed when I should have boxed, and I tried to brawl with him. And you don't brawl with a boxer. And and I brawled with him, and I wound up hurting my shoulder, but there ain't no excuses or nothing. But and I took the loss, and I came back and did what we had to do.
That's right. Yeah, very close fight. It was a split decision, so one judge chose you to win, and I'll rewatch that fight too. Man, it's so close. Little exchanges are the differences in these fights, man. And how you finish.
Starting and finish.
Yeah, starting and finish. How you exchange. So that's what judges are looking for, man. And it was real close. But CJ's a scrapper, man. He ended up getting the title that night. And I was going to say that I saw you favoring your shoulder. Yeah. And what exactly happened with it? Do you remember at what point in the fight it happened?
I think it actually happened in like a different fight, but like it wasn't as bad. And then I started tweaking it. And I feel like it started in the beginning of the second round.
Yeah.
I think that's when I knew it. Like in the first round, it was kind of like, but then in that second round, I was like, I gotta.
Yeah, man, it was. I saw you battling through it, man, and
I just had to use my left.
I know, man, and you did, man, and that was a fun fight. Talk to me about the mentality of like, it sucks, man, but it's just so part of fighting. It's getting that close and not quite getting it done, and just being like, man,
I'm so competitive. Like, I'm telling you, there's in this Southern Hand Slugfest, the two people that beat me, that's the only two people in my entire life, out of my whole entire boxing career, I never went back and beat.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't get my chance to. Yeah. But in the boxing world, I did. Everybody that's ever beat me in the ring, they can tell you right now, I've got my chance back and fought them.
Yep. And that's important to a lot of people.
And so when I do lose, I don't look at it as like I'm a failure. No, I look at it as like, all right, I worked. He got me, or whatever. And then it's time to come back. And when I come back, I'm coming.
Yeah, it's a marathon.
It's totally different then. Like a light switch comes on.
You think about that fight for a while, and it resonates with you. You come back different, man. And you look across the ring and you see that same face, and everybody wants to get that get back for sure, man. So, but yeah, CJ's a solid dude. That was a heck of a fight. But yeah, man, when these runner-ups, man, I love when runner-ups come back. I love when runner-ups come back because it's so easy to get discouraged being that close, man. It really is. A lot of guys shut down after that, Yeah. And you signed back up, man, and you returned in December of that year, Southern Hand Slugfest 8. 'Twas the fight before Christmas, and that was a fun event. My first ever Friday event. I was nervous, and I had a lot going on business-wise that one, but we closed the year out right. So Hunter came back for his third tournament in a row. You won by first round TKO against Gage Stinson. Mm-hmm. I remember that one. You let your hands go, and you picked right back up, man. You look good. You look poised, and you act like you've been there before because you have.
Yeah.
And that was it. So you moved on to the quarterfinals, and you faced a name that you know very well now, Baby Jay Marceau.
Yeah, so that's my buddy right there.
Jay's a dog.
I love Jay.
Jay is awesome. Shout out to Jay. I'm going to have him on the podcast. We've been messaging, man. We're going to line it up. But so you fought Jay for the first time. And you won by unanimous decision. And Jay was 3-1 heading into that fight. And his only loss was a split decision to CJ Randall. So it was the perfect fight to make it the perfect time between y'all. And good boxing match, IQ, wits, battle. I mean, just Jay's so well schooled. Jay had a lot of amateur fights too, a lot as a kid. And so it was a perfect matchup, man, and it was fun. What you remember about Jay? You got to bring your A game to beat Jay Marceau.
So so I knew like. He's smaller, so like I knew not to just bounce around the ring with him. I knew I had to put pressure on him. I knew how to put my weight on him, and that's what I did. I put my weight on him, and that's when I wore him down.
Yep.
And I slowed him down. And once I slowed him down, we boxed, and I love Jay. That's my buddy.
Jay's my dog, man. He's such a gamer, man. You talk about a fighter who. I've never heard him make one excuse ever, bro. Like ever, not even like an ounce of. It's the ref's fault. It's the judge's fault. It's this person's fault. Never make one excuse. Every time it's I'm gonna get him next time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him next time. Watch.
Yeah.
He always says it every time. I mean, he showed up to the last one. He goes, I got off the couch for this one, Rick. They in trouble tonight.
Yeah.
And so Jay's just such a gamer, man. But that was a fun fight and a good win for you. So you were 2-0 on the night. It was a stacked lightweight bracket. If I went over some of those names that were in that bracket, nasty. I mean, beginning to end, there was honestly about. I mean, it was a 20-man bracket. There was like 8 people who could have won it. Seriously.
Yeah.
And So you were 2-0 the night you were heading to the Final Four, and that shoulder bothered you again. Man.
No, it was my back.
Back. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I had hurt my back
Yep.
like a week before,
Yep.
and I was trying to go to a chiropractor and get it out, and
Yep.
I didn't. But I rehabbed it. And then
Happened in training.
happened
Yeah.
in training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you battling through that, man, and I know you wouldn't step out unless you had to, but live to fight another day, brother.
Yeah.
It's okay, man. But you stepped out, man, and the tournament went on. But so you looked really good that night because we had some fun matchups for you, man. But it's just time, and it's how it is, brother. Injuries are going to happen. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was your Southern Hand Slugfest 8 tournament. You had a well-deserved rest at 9. I remember you messaged me saying, Rick, sit one out. That's a lot of fights. You know? And, you sat out. You enjoyed the event at 9. Talk to me about. I love when fighters just come show support, man, like you did. I talked to you about this already many times, but just spectating, man, the entertainment value, and just sitting there. And when you're not competing, man, you see these guys you fought before, you've been in brackets with before, and just being at an event overall.
And just being there at the event is just like, because you're at. Like I said before, I feel like I'm at home. So when you're there, you're communicating like with other people that you really normally couldn't communicate with. Like, because when you're fighting, you're thinking about one thing only, and one thing, and that's your family's right there. Yeah, but when they're talking, it's whatever. But you're trying to be there to show support. Like they support you. So now when you're there, you can talk to the fans like you want to. They ask you when you coming back, how you feeling, just all types of stuff, And I love that atmosphere, and that's cool, what I want to be a part.
Cool. We created a community, and it's all love, man. We ain't got no bullshit. So it's all love and sportsmanship. We there for business when the bell rings, and then it's all love.
And it's family oriented. It's kids. It's got kids there. They got everybody. My daughter,
all she sits ringside. She's so well behaved, bro. Mia, that's her name, right?
That's her name.
She's such a good girl, man. She's so funny. I think she was coloring.
Yeah, coloring. She was playing on my phone, coloring, watching movies.
Yeah, so it's family friendly event. That's what I always tell people, man. You ain't even gotta get a babysitter, man. Bring the kids. You know what I'm saying? So there's no swear words in our walkout music. We promote that kind of event, man. That's the kind of event we want to have. You go to some of these events, man. Look, some of these pro boxing events, trash, bro. It's trash.
It is
so
and like
this is garbage, man.
You'll bring more people to your event if it was family oriented, because not just the boyfriend and the girlfriend is going to go, the whole family's going to go.
That's right. Yeah, man. That's how you going to bring your 10-year-old to a show like that, or your 6-year-old, or your 8-year-old? I see that all the time. I'm like, God, come on, man. You got to have a business approach with people, man. It just, it's so.
Yeah, you got to have. It's when you're doing stuff like that. Yeah. You don't do that for the.
You shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
The promoter is.
The promoter is for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's crazy, bro. But anyways, so you sat out and you enjoyed the 9th event, and I appreciate you being there, man. And so you came back for Southern Hand Slugfest 10, and we remember that one well. That was May of this year, kicking off the summer at high stakes. And that was your championship run, brother. That was just a couple months ago, man. You put a stamp on this one. You fought Austin, pressure win. Austin's such a good dude.
No, he's a good dude. Man.
He stepped up for me last event.
It was like a week?
Dude, for like 2 days.
Oh, 2 days.
Yeah, somebody no-show on me. A couple, just, people getting cold feet. And Austin said, just let me know, Rich. Just let me know. He already has his license. He showed up with his mouthpiece. He stepped up for me, man. So, Austin, you're a real one. Thank you, buddy. And, so you fought Austin, win. You won by second round TKO. Great start, man. You were off and rolling. And then you got to the quarterfinals, and you fought Brandon Conway, the hard-hitting Texan.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Brandon.
I love Brandon. Like me and him actually, when I came in to get checked by the doctor, that's when I first talked to him.
Yep.
And I really didn't know if he was in lightweight until we about walked into there, and then he said, "Yeah, I'm in lightweight. I've been watching you," and I was like, "Oh yeah, good, buddy. I'm glad you've been watching me." And he's like, I've been watching. He's like, "You're a good father," and I was like, "Oh yeah." He said, "Let's do it for the dads," and I was like, and then that's when I kind of created that friendship with him. At first I didn't know how he's gonna come off, so I kind of just stood on, but then I knew it was love, So yeah, he's a good dude. I always talk to him.
Dude. Yeah, Brandon Conway's one of the most genuine fighters that's ever fought for me. I'm serious. His son has autism.
Yeah,
that's why he wears some autism shorts, and just spreading awareness about that. He's got a great message behind him. That dude's so solid. He got so much better too.
Yeah,
like the early tournaments he fought for, and where he is now, man. He really has evolved and developed, and that dude shows up in shape.
Yeah.
That dude shows up in shape, and he's got
and he's a warrior.
And he throws hard punches.
Yep.
And Brandon Conway, so you fought Brandon Conway. He's actually the all-time knockout leader for lightweights in my promotion. A lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah.
You know Conway, man. If you just stand in front of him and you want to trade punches with him,
yeah, it could be
you're rolling the dice, baby.
Yeah, you're gambling.
Yeah, you better fight him a certain way. But
Yeah.
he's got 5 knockouts. And Brandon Conway's the lightweight knockout king right now. So he's a hard hitter. He's, the fight before he fought you, he collapsed Mike Hamby.
Yeah.
Remember, he had knockout of the night. The event before that, he won knockout of the night. He's got some highlight reel KOs, man. So I love Brandon. It was a fun fight, but no, you fought him right, man. You moved your feet. You're in your lateral movement, and you fought him good. What you remember about fighting him inside those ropes, man? About Brandon?
Like I was saying, he is tough. You know, he took some punishment. You know, and he told me, man, he schooled me. I said, look, you just keep your head up and keep fighting. You know, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has their day.
Sure.
You know, and then when it just happens, you accept it and move on.
Yep. And you learn from it. You make adjustments and you move forward. And no, he respects you a lot, man.
But yeah, he's a warrior.
Dude, I love Brandon Conway. I could talk about that dude forever, man.
Yeah.
I watched him come a long way. So, so that was your second win of that night. You moved into the semifinals, and here's that name again, J Marceau. The guy won't go away, man. I think he's like 7-4 in Southern Hand Slugfest. You're 2 of his losses, and the other 2. It's Moses Sanders and C.J. Randall.
Yeah.
So he beats everyone. He's that guy that's so close
he's right
all
there.
the time, and he's right there. He's gonna win it one day.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a day.
One day.
Yeah.
So, but Jay is so game. He's seen the final bell with everybody. He stood in there with everybody, and you fought him for the second time. 441 Southern Hand Slugfest fights. There's only been 3 rematches. That was one of them.
Yeah.
So a rematch. They got to occur organically. You know that because I'm going to do what I can to avoid that.
Yeah.
You've heard the speech a million times, man. But so you fought that second fight. Do you remember anything different about the first and second fight or anything like that?
No, I mean it pretty much went the same. You know, the first round of the last fight, you know, I didn't put as much pressure on him as I should.
Yep.
So I knew then, but the second time I went straight and just put pressure on him.
Yeah.
And I went right away and just did what I had to do.
That's right, man. Yeah, you got a good, y'all spent some time on those ropes together and you knew what to do. And like you were saying about the first time about leaning on him.
Yeah. I leaned on him a little bit, you know, pulled his arms away, you know, tired him down, you know, leaned on his arms and, you know, hit on him.
Yeah, I love when y'all fight, man. That's y'all. Okay, there will not be a trilogy. Y'all are done. Y'all are boys now. That's it.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah. So good stuff, man. Great fights with y'all. That's one of my favorite, Adam Nash and PJ, and then you and Jay are my fun, just fun rivalry.
Rivals.
Yeah, just good rivals that kept running into each other deep into brackets and stuff like that. But yeah, that was special, man. That was cool to watch that organically happen. So you went to the finals, and you fought Seth Dardar. Seth is a awesome fighter. He's 7-0 in MMA, and he was 3-0 at Southern Hand Slugfest. And he's such a gamer, man. So. What do you remember about that fight, man? You ended up winning by split decision. It was very close. What do you remember about it?
I remember it was a fast pace, you know, and I just felt like in that fight I put more combinations together, and my power punches. I had more power punches than he did. That landed clean, you know, and that's why I felt like, you know, I had that fight.
Yeah. And fights like that is they're so high level, man. You know, you got to fight Seth a certain way. He's got to fight you a certain way.
Yeah.
So it's so high level. That fights like that are the main driving course. I'm about to start implementing it. I want title fights to be 90-second rounds.
Yeah, and I'm all for that because when you get because you might get in there and it's going to be a high level fight, and if they got that extra 30 seconds,
I need to see more.
You can see more, and they can see more. You know.
Yep. I can't do an entire event of 90 seconds.
No.
It would 7-8 hours.
2 o'clock in the morning.
But just the title fights, I want to see that.
Yeah.
I'm about to implement that. That's about to happen. But like you and Seth's fight's a good example of that where I had you winning too. I watched it. It was very close. Again, those little exchanges. It looked like you were throwing more combinations. Yeah. And just little exchanges. But Seth's a heck of a fighter, a great dude.
Yeah,
he's got
a good
bright future in MMA. Very bright future. But so you captivated, man. You did it. What was that like, man? You got the belt, $2,000 cash in front of your people. 4 tournaments of history, 12 fights, and you were there, man. You did it. What'd that feel like, brother?
It felt great, you know, because and not only did I just did it in front of all my fans, but I did it in front of my family that's been there since my very first fight when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. It was special, you know, and that I did it. So I did it so many times, you know, before Katrina, but then now here I am 15, 20 years later.
Yeah.
And here I did it again, you know. So I felt great. It was special. And now I just feel like I need to keep doing what I do, not sit out. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah, you got the successful formula, man. It was an awesome night, brother. You deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
You've been through a lot of ups and downs with the promotion, injuries, close losses. I mean, just a lot of wins against quality guys, and it was nice to see it all come to fruition, man. You deserved it. You earned it, and it was fun, man. And so that leads us into the future. You sat ringside at Southern Hand Slugfest 11 that we had in July. Appreciate you working corners.
Oh yeah,
I love when guys
see,
come back.
and I will always do that. You know, like that's just something fun to me. You know,
I need that sometimes.
You know, I'll look up. I even asked Freddie. I looked up. I said, "Freddie, you need break?" Oh yeah, man. Thank you. I was like, I went over there, and then he said, "Man, how many win?" I said, "You set me up, bro." We don't I swear, I had like every dude. I had like 4 people. And it was like they all got knocked out. And I'm like, man. I said, Freddie, you just went and looked at the lineup and seen what was going on here.
Yeah, I know, man. It was, you know, in the early days, I didn't have a lot of like backup cornermen. People would say they would do it, and then they go, they kind of backpedal. That's not really my fighter or anything. But man, you can't. So, but like Freddie and them used to like not get a piss break.
Yeah.
I was like, he's like, dude, can I run to the bathroom real quick?
Man, look, if I ain't fighting, I'll help them out anytime.
That,
you know.
Man. Yeah, it goes a lot, man. I need community. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of scenes.
Oh yeah.
I got some of my boys sent by me. They do stuff people don't even know about.
Yeah.
I need people around me. I need community. So I appreciate that.
Oh yeah,
man.
no problem.
That means a lot. No matter how big or small the task is, you know.
Yeah, every little thing helps, you know, because a lot of people don't know, but I do know because my grandpa and my uncle, they all did all that promotion stuff, you know, so I knew it took a lot in it, you know, because they had all the casinos, you know, wrapped up before Katrina.
That's right.
You know, so it was a lot then, and it's even probably more now, you know, because Jesus, you got to go through so much. You got media, you got this, you got tickets, you got that, you got this.
Crazy, the people. Sometimes I wish I had like a body cam on me, and then sometimes I'm like, nah, I don't want to. You know, but I don't want to play victim. I asked for it.
Yeah.
It's just a lot, though. It's just a lot.
It is a lot.
I asked for it. Me and my wife wanted to take it on, and I've been around it my entire life. I love it. I'm passionate about it. But no, I appreciate all the help, man. It takes a community. It's very symbiotic. It's a big machine with a lot of gears, and so if just a couple of people step up and do a little extra, it makes my night so much easier, man. Heck, I'm ring announcing now.
Yeah.
Like add one more.
And you're doing a great job. Like I told you that last one. You said my name, man, gave me chills on my back. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go knock somebody out now.
Yeah, man, that was fun, man. It was cool to dive into that. But so going into the future, we're excited to announce. I made one post about it, but we're excited to announce that Hunter Watts will be fighting in 4.5 weeks at the Biloxi Community Center on October 26th. So, what's your mentality heading into that one? Is there any kind of different dynamic? You know, you're on a lot of radars. I got a lot of lightweights. They've dropped your name. I got some debuts coming in people don't know about. Is there pressure to repeat?
No, it ain't no pressure to repeat because, I mean, for one, you can't just go off of what you just did last time. It's a new slate.
Yep.
You know, it's time to start back over. And back when I was younger, I'll say it now. I would have the big head right now. But right now, no, I'm back humble. I know what's got to happen.
Yeah.
You know, I know what I got to train for. Did I train hard for this fight than I did all the others? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know what's at stake. You know, I know what's going on. I know it just ain't going to be a walkthrough. This is about to be a stack. Lightweight. This is about to be a real deal. You know, it ain't going to be no cake in the wall.
Yeah, you know this. This ain't no regular tough, man. Southern Hand Slugfest is different. I'm going to throw boys at you because I know you're ready for the fire. And I want guys to get tested. I want them to push themselves to the limit. And I love that you take it seriously and train the way you train. Anything less than that, you can expect to come up short. So I want you all in. I love when guys are 100%. Like, I have no excuses. Training went perfect, and I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. Send them
like right now, even with me cutting weight right now, I feel great. You know, like I don't even have that. Like before I did, like a couple fights before this one when I lost all that weight, I was like, man. like, why did I do this to myself? But that's the fighting world, But you gotta overcome. You gotta test the things because you're older now. It ain't like you was when you're 16, 17. I'm 31 years old now, and so it's a little different working out. It's a little different diet, and than I'm used to.
Yep.
So, but I overcome it. I fight through it like you fight through everything else.
That's right, brother. That's true. And no, man, it's gonna be fun to have you back in there. I love when champions return. So it'll be a fun event. Halloween haymakers. Get your tickets now, people. I promise this roster. We got a middleweight division and a lightweight division, and it's stacked. It's gonna be fun, man. I got some boys. The bell got rung. People from all over have been calling me and stuff, signing up for this one. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We got a lot of reveals we're gonna do and stuff like that. But some familiar names are coming back, and some new faces are coming back. So, hey, I want to ask you, man. What are your thoughts on Moses Sanders as a fighter? You two are kind of circling each other. Y'all are the two greatest lightweights that have ever fought in this promotion's history. You've watched them fight outside the ring. Y'all haven't competed yet. What are your thoughts about him as a fighter and stuff?
I actually think he's a good skilled fighter, and that's why once you made that post, I was like, man, I gotta be my best I can be, because if you go in there and you're slouching him, he's gonna beat you.
Yep.
And there's ways to beat him, and I watched them, and then I went back and watched other fights, with different styles. Some, not saying it's similar styles that I have, but someone that does put pressure, and I knew what's got to happen,
Yeah.
So I know what I got to do, and I hope he just comes and does what he's got to do too,
That's right.
and he's a good dude, So
He is. Yeah.
and he's like I feel like he he's humble, he's real humble. When he comes in, he just sits down. He's not out bouncing around, and I like that about him. So I know it's going to be a great fight. That's the fight I want,
Yeah, I've gotten to know Moses behind the scenes a lot. He's fought in 3 tournaments for me, 13 fights. I've gotten to know him well, and some of his family members. Dude, he ain't got an ounce of arrogance in him.
Yeah.
You think he'd get to his head a little bit? Dude, he's a humble.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
Because I did
humble.
in the last fight I did take the corner from Freddie. I said, Freddie, I want this corner because he was in the red corner.
That's right.
He fought Baby J. And
That's right.
And so when he got in there, I was watching him then, and then I was like, look, you have to let your punches go in this round, because he's coming. I'm telling you, every single time I fought him, and I know he's coming. So, and he won. He did good. The second and third round, he felt him out the first round. That's
right.
what he did.
That's right.
And I know that, because that's what I do sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, Moses, y'all have had similar trajectories, actually. His first tournament, he lost a close decision in the finals, and he came back and won it. And he's had ups and downs, man. He's beat guys. He's been dropped, got up off the canvas, and then won that fight. Moses overcame a lot to get where he's at, man, and get his name known and doing what he's known. But such a slick fighter.
Yeah.
Southpaw, a great lead too. He digs that right hook to the body.
Yeah.
He's clever, angles, pivots.
And that's why I think this is going to be a high profile fight. This is the fight that everybody needs to see.
They want to see it.
And a lot of people do say it. It's not. This has been about my third tournament. I done heard that.
Yeah.
And then when you got the referee telling you got the judge, man, you need to fight. The fight's got to happen.
Yeah,
they even want to see it.
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah. I told you you'd get asked that a couple times at the event, and I get asked that all the time. It's there's a lot of fights I get asked about, stuff like that, and that's what I told Snotty, Orso, Snotty,
yeah.
So we're gonna make them all happen. That's what I like about Southern Hand Slugfest. It's the event that answers all questions,
and it's timing too.
timing.
Everything's always timing.
You build stuff up and you do it right, and stuff like that. And a good promoter knows that.
Yep.
He knows how to build that up and build these characters and these fighters and these warriors and stuff like that. But yeah, Moses is awesome. He's been great for the promotion, and everybody's looking forward to it, brother. I want y'all both 100%. And I'm not doubting anybody else. This roster, man.
Anything can happen.
Somebody's gonna try to ruin that storyline.
Yeah, someone's gonna try to ruin it. But like I said, anything can happen in boxing.
Yep.
It don't matter who you are.
That's right.
If that man gets in the ring with you, anything can happen. It don't matter. He don't even know how to throw a punch. If he accidentally lands it, because you're not on your P's and Q's, you go to sleep.
I see guys get complacent against guys who, they don't really train. Been a lot of upsets
Mm-hmm.
and underdogs and stuff like that, man. You get licked with guys recover differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if a guy rocks you right, you spend a lot of time just trying to get right again. These are such fast fights that
you can't do that.
And everyone's dangerous early. That's what I say.
Because they're all.
Oh man, they're fresh.
Yeah.
And you're in the first round of the opening bell rings, and y'all just meet in the middle. You're giving that guy a good chance. To
yeah.
get something, you know, and he's there. And especially a guy who ain't scared, he's just throwing to the wind. You gotta, you know,
and don't care about getting hit.
Don't care about getting hit.
Yeah.
He's coming forward. Yeah. So there's a lot of guys out there, man. You know, they'll. You treat everybody. You don't underestimate anybody.
No, you don't. Every time they step in, if they step in the ropes with you and that bell rings, don't underestimate.
Don't underestimate them, man. You never know. So that's great insight. You got any other Southern Hand Slugfest fighters we didn't mention you enjoy watching, man? Just from the outside, any weight class or anything like that? What you think about Hercules, man? You like that guy?
I like Hercules. Yeah. I like Hercules a lot because he, like I said, he's a humble guy too.
Yeah.
You know, and he comes and he's just like. He's impact, you know, like, and I like Josh Walls too. That's my boy. I mean, he brings the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, he gets the crowd up. You know,
yeah.
But yeah,
Walls is fun.
Yeah,
Walls is style.
And then I ain't gonna lie, I was proud of his brother in that last one. I was proud. He did great.
Standing up, clapping. Dude, Caleb is awesome, man. I'm so proud of him. Went 3-1, made it to the final. Dude, everybody was calling.
Yeah.
I actually had a couple of messages, man, some disrespectful crap. I never aired out, went public or not like that. They're like, man, shame on you for letting that dude sign up. It doesn't discount. I was like, Caleb's in the gym training, bud.
Yeah.
I wouldn't count him out, brother. You know, he's got a good brother who's got a lot of
experience. He got knockout of the night.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Great knockout.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and when he did that, I was like.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Caleb.
He did good.
I'm so proud of him, man. He got KO of the night. He's such a character. He's wearing that American flag cowboy hat.
Yeah.
So, you know, Hercules is he's a special fighter. He's a good fighter.
But Hercules, he is a knockout. And when he knocked out the Juggernaut, man, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I didn't get to see the knockout because I was getting, you know, everything getting wrapped up and everything. But when I heard him hit the ground, I was like, everybody's like, Juggernaut knocked. No, I said, no, he just got knocked out. Because I heard that the dust left the canvas.
I mean. Bobby Fails the Juggernaut. Like I said, he's about 6'6", 300 pounds of muscle, 275, and he was the returning champion.
Yeah,
he won the heavyweight the event before. He beat Snotty.
Yeah,
in the finals.
Yeah.
So he came back. He won his first fight, and I knew him and Hercules was going to be interesting. And when Hercules knocked him out, Bobby fell face first. I mean, just gravity, brother. No break in his fall. One of the nastiest knockouts ever.
Oh yeah.
The plywood sound when he hit the canvas was wicked, man. And Hercules is devastating.
Yeah. So nobody needs to underestimate that man right there.
Yeah.
Because he can hit you, and he could be tired, sitting on the ropes, and if he just decides to swing, just say it's my last punch, and he hits you with it.
Yep.
I'll bet some money he'll knock you out.
That's right. Yeah. Well, he's got a good peekaboo style.
Yeah.
He's short, compact. He throws really good hooks.
Yeah.
And he knows how to move his head. And Hercules is.
And he's getting better and better every time.
Every event, man.
You know.
He had some amateur fights growing up, and he hadn't fought same story, hadn't fought in a while. And he came into this, man. He is just, knocking people out. He's dangerous, man. He's a great fighter. I love having him in it, man. He's a fun one, man. It was cool. The one you won, also the cool storyline of that one. Just to touch on this really quick was it was Adam Nash's last one.
Oh man!
Did you get to share any words with him and talk to him?
Yeah, I got to talk to him before and after. He was telling me this is my last one. I was like, and then I wanted him to win that so bad, like I really did. I mean, but you can't take it from the other guy. You know,
Jamal's great.
He's a good dude. Yep. You'll never see him without a smile on his face.
That's right.
But Adam, get back on that. But Adam's like what he's been through. That's inspiring. Yep. Like his storyline is inspiring to a lot. Should be inspire a lot of people. Yep. Because he did a lot. He went through a lot.
Yeah, in and out of the ring. He is the most game person. He's like a fighter. He's your favorite fighter's favorite fighter.
Yeah.
That dude is like he's so. I can't even.
And then he went to that bare knuckle and won that.
The same night.
I was like, that's awesome.
First round knockout. Yeah. He did good, man. I'm really proud of him. He'll finally be sitting in the crowd watching ringside at this next one as he made the Hall of Fame. And but yeah, Adam's a special dude. That was a special night for him too, man. Event 10, he made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
And got across there, man. But yeah, man. Yeah, it's been an interesting trajectory. It's been a lot of fun fights, a lot of fun memories, man. We built up a cool community and what we're doing on the coast, man, and building it over and over. I just want to keep seeing it grow, brother. You know, I envision, you know, larger cash prizes, more fighters from all over, traveling around different states and all that. So, you know, we're just working our way towards it, man. But
and I see it coming because like it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and more people are coming. And it's not just the people off the streets now. Now it's people that's actually, you know, been fighting there, either the MMA or they've been boxing.
That's right.
So now you get more skill in there. People that, you know, gave up on it, or, you know, I'm gonna get back in it, or people that are active or just trying to stay moving, you know. So I feel like it's going to get bigger because the word's getting out.
I know, man.
You know?
Yeah, the word's definitely getting out, and there's more credible guys coming in. Like, I'll tell people all the time, but like, man, like I had a guy sign up for the last event. I think I said this with Orso. I said this with Snotty. This guy had like 9 amateur MMA fights, and he was just one of the lightweights, and he lost his second fight.
Yeah.
He ain't even make, you know, he went 1-1. So it's like that's the depth of the bracket starting to get, man. You're starting to get, you know. These guys are experienced. They train year round. I like when guys build a training camp around it and they take it seriously. I want the word to go out that, you know, if a coach sees a guy sign up for this and he goes, dude, if you take that lightly, you might get slipped.
Yeah.
You might
don't go in there because think you're about to get $2,000 and a belt and you're gonna get all this glory for a night or two. It's not like that.
I know it's not like that, man. It's different. And but I like the skill level going up. There's a lot of things we're implement about it and all that. So. But it's been a fun journey, brother.
And see, and out of all these other promotions, you know, like I watched, you know, just to look at the other ones, and it's just not nothing like ours.
Yeah.
You know, like what we're in is different. Like ours is like theirs is like calling people out on the internet and they going over here to fight that. And then you're like, you got this one big old swole dude, and you got this other one, and then they both can't fight. You're like, what is weird, what? Man. Like, dude, this is. You got Hercules and you got dang Thor over here fisting throw down, and then
I know, yeah, they.
But now on our promotion, you got people that are big.
That's right,
and they can do that, and they will go do it. You know.
Yeah, I got a lot of guys like that. Even just upcoming, man. We're like, I got a guy who's making his middleweight debut. No one knows about him at this next event. Middleweight debut. Remember this dude. I'm telling you about. I'll point him out to you like that. He's an animal. This guy's an animal. He trains 100% intensity. This guy, I'm like, bro, don't send me all that. He'll send me like a 17-minute training video. I'm like, bro,
yeah.
You think it'd be like 30 seconds of him hitting the bag or something like that? It's like, he'll send me like his whole like session.
Yeah, he's into it.
He's wild, man. And I love this dude.
Send like a 30-second clip. He ain't got to be a 30-minute one.
No, yeah, man. You know? But he's like, he's so all in. He is in shape. He spars. He does his road work, and he's a debut fighter. Yeah, his debut fighter,
and that's good. That's what we need in this promotion. We don't need somebody to scout the couch and. Yeah, I mean it's good
because they want to do it. Just say they did it.
Yeah,
you know, there's guys bucket list. They just you know, I just want to say I did it once and just see what I made of and all that. But man, that tough guy shit'll get you hurt.
Yeah, he can get you hurt. Yeah,
you know, it's I want the different caliber of guys, and I want guys to just take it seriously and train and be all in, man. That's important. I mean, you get a better product.
Yeah, you know? And then and another thing about ours, like I don't think we had anybody. We might have had like a couple people in there that, you know, talk trash back and forth, but after the fight, it was over with. Yeah. But like in those other, it's not. You know, they still fighting out in the crowd.
Yeah, they're fighting out in the crowd, or like there's Facebook bull crap and all that. I hate that stuff, man. I don't like any of that. I like boxing to be a sport.
Yeah,
you know, and that's the way I've always liked it to be. So. It just gets a little crazy. You know, like, this call out culture and all this is like, I don't know, man.
It's different. I mean, it's different. Say, hey, man, like you make a post on it, but I'm not about to talk about your mommy, your daddy, your grandma, and your kid, or not. I'm not going that extra amount. I might say, hey, I want to fight you, blah blah blah. That's on fine. Whatever. That's it. But I'm not going to sit there and talk about your whole family because I don't know you like that. No, you know,
crazy, bro. And like, you know, you talk about somebody's family.
That's different. You're talking.
They ain't talking about fighting you no more.
Yeah, they're talking about. It's totally, and that's why you have and they got all this animosity going into there.
It's crazy. It ain't good. It just, you don't need it. You know, the fights are good enough as they are.
Yeah.
When guys are all in and they're training, and you get serious fighters and all that. That product right there will put butts in seats. I promise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you don't need all that extra.
And we do it every time because we sell out every time.
Oh, yeah,
every
man.
event we put in, it don't matter. I
Man.
think this was almost what all the tables are gone.
It's crazy, man. I'm about like we're 4 weeks out. I'm like probably like a week away from GA only, which is the balcony upstairs.
Yeah.
So that's all I'll have, man. We'll tap out the floor and we'll be done, man. It's so rewarding, man. It makes me want to take on bigger venues.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me want to
Because it's getting bigger and bigger.
And then that what people don't see is like the last event, we had like 400 pay-per-view buys.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. Like the one before that, I had like 220, and then the last one went up to like 430, 450, something like that.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view buys. So like just the digital eyes are growing too.
And I know this is more far-fetched than right now, but like, have you ever thought about like, doing it on like a tournament? You know how back in the day we did Gulf States. You used to do it on Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
So like you say the lightweights and the heavyweights, and
That's
then
right.
the middleweight and light heavyweight.
That's
Because if you do ever, because it's gonna grow to where you're gonna have to do that.
Too many weight classes, too many people.
people.
Yeah.
And so you got to split it up. So have you ever thought something about that?
I have, man. That's a good question. I love those weekend style tournaments and stuff like that. I love it. It actually makes it easier on me.
Yeah.
One ring set up. Just clean the venue one night, and we're ready for the next night.
day,
I've
yeah.
actually wanted to do that, man, and build it up. And it's actually not that more expensive. All your upfront costs just come from doing it once. So the second day is not really costing you
Nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
No, just that first little upfront thing. So that's something I've definitely thought about, man. I'm looking at like a permanent fourth weight class. I'm looking at a lot of things, man. I've tried to squeeze these weight classes. Heavyweight's always going to be
Heavyweights, yeah.
That's target. You're always going to get a 225er fighting a 265er.
Oh yeah.
I can't do anything. It's heavyweight.
That's heavyweight. They do that in every sport. So it ain't that like you picking up
That's
somebody.
right. Yeah, heavyweight boxing is like that. I mean, they've got guys who are 280. And
They
guys
got
who are
202 pounds fighting people 260
That's right.
pounds.
That's exactly right. Yep. As soon as you go over the cruiserweight limit, you're a heavyweight, brother.
You
That's
200, you 201.
Yep.
It's over with.
Hey, speaking of that, man, who were some pros you like? Who were some guys, pro boxing champions that you grew up watching, man, that you admire? Maybe you modeled yourself after them in certain aspects. Who do you like? Current, modern, or old school guys?
So my old school, I'm gonna say Alexis Arguelles.
I love Alexis.
Because that's what my first fighter I ever watched. Because my grandpa, when we from time I was 4 or 5 years old, when we watched those tapes, it was Alexis Arguelles.
Yep.
So when he put it in the TV, I'd always say I want to watch that one.
That's a great name. A lot of people would have said Nicaraguan champion. He was like 77-8. His 2 fights with Aaron Pryor.
Was a
They just
war.
fight 15 rounds back.
Yeah.
Oh my. That dude, he was a tall, skinny dude. Dude, he could go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He could go.
That's a great name.
So
That's a
like
great name.
when I first started, like when I was 8, you was fighting 1 minute rounds, and for like we're doing right now.
Yep.
So I fought like him. That's how my grandpa said, you're gonna have to fight like him to win these rounds. And then so as our rounds got longer and we got different, he's like, all right, you're gonna start watching this guy. We wanted me to watch Roberto Duran, so I started doing that. And then after that, I started venturing off on my own, so I like Roy Jones Jr. And I met him several times, and Pensacola. And my stepdad trained him in the 80s, so it was, and that was cool. But right now,
I've been to Roy Senior's gym a couple of times, and then I've seen him at events. I've seen Roy Jr. at a bunch of events and stuff like that. I mean,
we used to rock.
Maybe the perfect fighter. He wasn't technically perfect. He could get away with stuff because his speed.
He's so fast.
I'm talking about just like in his prime, and him and Oscar De La Hoya, they were the fighters of the 90s. They actually got the award from Ring Magazine. But like Roy Jones Jr. at his peak. If you're a young boxing fan, do yourself a favor and go on YouTube. If you don't know, he the most phenomenal highlight reel.
I think he's the fastest that's ever put on a pair of boxing gloves.
I do too.
Floyd's not faster than him.
Which is crazy because he was a middleweight, a super middleweight, light
Heavyweight.
I mean that
And heavyweight champion.
That's right. John Ruiz for the heavyweight
yeah.
title. So to say that kind of speed is great. His lead left hook
Oh man,
was like no other. He could feint you off the jab and just get around that guard.
And
he could touch you anytime.
And when he threw like 3 left, because he would triple up,
Gosh.
and it looked like he hit you twice.
Yep. He would just step on every hook. He would just step.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then when he fought Vinny Penziazzi, oh my goodness, whew.
Vinny's so tough.
He was tough. He did,
because he could have went away early.
Yeah,
he beat the shit. Vinny Penziazzi was a world
champion in several different weight classes.
That's right. And Roy beat him up. I mean, the ref had to save him.
Oh yeah.
Roy beat him up. He was so perfect. He would just jump with uppercuts and
it was explosive.
He could get away with so much with his hands down because he was such a good athlete, man, and he was so dynamic, man. He would just he had a great quote: "I'm not fighting nobodies. I'm making them look like nobodies."
And that's the truth, because people didn't understand when he fought these people that he fought were champions when he fought them.
Yeah, they're like the number one ranked contender in his weight class. Who's he supposed to fight?
Yeah,
it's just names you don't know.
And at that time, that's who they were. But they were. It don't mean just because they weren't famous, don't mean they wasn't a fighter. And but my fighters now, I'll tell you right now, I like Gervonta Tank Davis.
Of course.
So look, this is what's crazy. Why I like Tank Davis, and I met him in 2017. I went to Gleason's boxing gym
in
New York, in Brooklyn, and he was in the gym. He wasn't nobody. He was just, he probably had 1 or 2 pro fights, and that was it. So just to get to be around him, and we talked and this and that, but it wasn't nothing, like we hung out, but just in the gym in a passing, and then seeing him now, and then the way he transformed from then to now, and so I like him. He's explosive. He's the mini Mike Tyson. Seriously,
he is. He is just like that. He's the mini Mike Tyson. His KO ratio, I think he's 30-0 with 28 knockouts right now. He beat Ryan Garcia. He's so dynamite. Kid from Baltimore, came from nothing. This kid came from the dirt, and he is a multi-time world champion. And I'm excited to see him go up in weight. But Tank Davis is worth the price of admission. He knocks people out. He just knocked out Frank Martin. His most recent win.
And that was devastating.
Devastating. I mean, he puts people away. He's nasty. I love Tank Davis. So, I'm excited to see him go up in weight. And I don't know who's going to beat that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to beat that guy.
And they keep saying Shakur, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
See, because he knows the difference between everybody else. He's patient. Gervonta's patient. Yeah. So he's going to walk you down. You might run, but he's going to catch you when you slow down 1 second.
You don't treat him like a regular power puncher. Like you get a really good Mexican or Argentine fighter. Maybe they're a little flat-footed, but they got a great body attack, and they have a lot of knockouts on the record. That's not Tank Davis. Tank Davis is explosive. He's patient. A lot of his stoppages were late.
11th
round, 9th round, 10th round, 11th round.
And even in the 12th.
Yeah. He's patient. He figures people out. He always finds that shot. He just always finds that shot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just that guy he's a special fighter, man. He's awesome. He's fun to watch, man. He's a lot of fun to watch. I like Boots.
Yeah, I like Boots too.
Oh my God.
And he thinks he wants some with Terrence Crawford, but I don't know. That would be a great fight, though. I'd like to watch it. It might be too early for Boots to do that.
Yeah, the development of a fighter, how you move them and stuff like that, what tests they are and aren't ready for. He has just aced everything they put in front of him. He's probably bored with these guys.
He is, and that's what it is. They probably need to test him a little harder. Yeah. But man,
Boots is nasty. He's flashy. He's quick, and then he knocks people out. He finishes guys. He ain't jabbing his way to decisions. He could do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Boots is a lot of people don't even know that name.
Yeah.
Like Jaron Ennis. Man, that dude is on a fast track. But Terrence Crawford's a different dude.
He's a beast.
He's special, man. The way he switches stances.
Yeah.
He gives you so many different looks and so much to think about, man. And Terrence Crawford's a generational fighter. He really is. Undisputed lightweight champion. Yeah. Those are some good names, brother. Yeah, I like such a variety of guys growing up.
I do too. I like different stuff. Like Canelo. I mean, Canelo. That's probably another. That is one of my other favorite fighters. Yep. And I like a lot of them fighters.
Yeah, I like a lot of them fighters, man. It's good to watch.
Especially now, there's it ain't just always like back in the '90s, and I mean you did have Roy Jones and all them, but it's more of them. You know, back then it was just all heavyweights. Yeah. Everybody likes the heavyweights. Everybody liked the heavyweights. Man. Well, yeah, because you got power punches in this, but now people are understanding skill, and you got power punches inside the skill now.
And just like athletes are better. Just in general, you know that, whether it's what they've learned from training tactics or whatever it is. Now, I still think a lot of old school guys could compete in this era.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you get like a Marvin Hagler.
Oh.
Dude, Marvin Hagler was such an animal. People have no idea. This guy, he would go up to Cape Cod. I don't know, it'd be like 9 degrees. And he would just run in army boots up and down these mountains. And he would just scream war at the top of his lungs. Middleweight champion. I mean, Marvin Hagler, I watched a documentary on him. And I've seen a lot of his fights. He was like, he used to train his temples.
Yeah.
He would flex his temples and then and you'd see when punches hit him, it's like they bounced off of his temple.
Yeah.
He had muscles coming out the side of his head.
Because
punches didn't sit on him. They didn't follow through on it. Like the fist gave on the side of his head. It was so. I never saw him hurt. 65 pro fights. He never got stopped.
He fought Thomas Hearns, and that was like the number one fight and ever for a long time. You on ESPN. On ESPN, that used to be the number one fight on ESPN.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, Marvin Hagler's another one, because he was just a dog. Like, he didn't care who it wasn't. He's like, oh, you want me to fight him? Okay, we want me to fight him right now, or are we gonna fight him in the ring? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he was a street guy. And he was so tough and I love Marvin Hagler. They don't make human beings like that anymore. No, that dude's like it just. And
see, back then everybody was so they were tougher. I felt like that's why they can hang in this generation, just because they were so much tougher. Because I mean, the way we trained back in the day, them coaches be in prison right now.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah. Parents would be calling
cops. Yeah. No, these back then, there was street kids going to the gym because their parents couldn't handle them no more.
That's right. Yeah. There's just like a different thing where, when you sign up for like a boxing gym culture, people don't know, like old school boxing gym culture. Coaches, they ain't gonna waste their time on you. They ain't wasting their time. They're not playing around. You get in there, you spar. You're gonna get your ass whipped. He's gonna see if you want to come back or not. You're not gonna waste a coach's time. An old coach, man, like Posky Miguez was like that. You ain't wasting Posky's time. You really want to do this? You really want to do this?
Yeah.
Like, he just found out early if you wanted to do this, right? You're like, damn, man. Like, he knew how to be intense at the right times, and he knew how to push you to be better, man. He knew how to genuinely push you to be better. But yeah, them old school guys, man. Parents aren't lining up to drop their kids off with a guy like that. Them dudes are.
And it's funny you say that, because when I was in New York, the guy that was training me, that's who I went to go see, was Hector Roca. And he was in 2022, he was the coach of the year.
Wow.
He just passed away last year. But I remember the first 4 days I was there, he didn't let me do nothing until I got down what he wanted me to do perfect. Until then, and see, he was going to see if he was frustrating me. He didn't frustrate me, because I knew, because I was like my grandpa. I treated him like my grandpa, because that's how my grandpa treated me. Like, you ain't going to move from walking in front of this mirror until you get it perfect.
Yep.
Now you can move up to shadow boxing.
Love it.
And then after you get perfect there, you're going to go to the bags.
Yep.
So it was different. Now it's just so fast paced. Kids lose interest. All right, you can't do it like that. You got to make it fun for them.
You don't want to push them too hard. Like you said, they'll lose interest, or there's easier routes. They'll get into other stuff. You know what I mean? But you're right, man, about the perfection of like a single craft. Like, these guys, oh man, there was so many guys like that. My cousin Troy was like that, man, where it was like, dude, if your jab isn't perfect, if it's not perfect, don't even throw a right hand. I don't even want to see.
Yeah.
Put your right hand in your pocket.
Yeah.
That jab's got to be perfect every single time, all the time. I want to see where your feet at when you throw it. I want to see where your other hand's at when you throw it. And just that's got to be perfect. Or we're not talking about anything else.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep. And we're gonna fight off that jab. And then but these little simple fundamentals were like, sometimes you'll see like coaches now, and a guy will do something technically incorrect, and like maybe they don't want to correct them, or they don't want to push them too hard, or they go on to another thing, and I'm like, well, you haven't even the fundamentals, man.
Yeah,
the fundamentals.
And back in the day when you go to a boxing gym, you wasn't paying. You was paying for your license.
Yeah.
But you didn't pay to go to that gym. Now, that's why it's like, so they're keeping the people in so they can make money. And that's what happened.
It's a business, and look, opening a gym is not easy. You got to keep the lights on, brother. There's power bills. People, you got to.
And it was a kid, like you said before, it was a community thing.
Sure.
Back then, all the parents helped out. They dropped, and it's different now. It's just different. It was a community thing.
Very different, and like you said, it's operated like a business. And look, not everybody wants to compete. Some people in there are trying to lose weight.
Yeah. and see, I commend people like that when they come in and they say, man, I don't want to get in that ring, but I want you to teach me, I want to train, I want to lose weight, I'll show you whatever you want, I have because you telling me that. But if you come in there and telling me that you're going to train to fight, and then as soon as you get ready to fight, ghost me, I mean, I felt like I waste my time, and then when you feel like you waste your time, it's different.
And that goes back to what we were saying earlier in the podcast about like to be fighting and training people, it ain't.
Mm-mm.
When you're done, and then you want to get into that, you want to take on the right people who appreciate it, and they're there and they're listening to you and stuff like that. That's a different monster, So,
and see, I mean, I got a couple kids, like 3 of them I'm messing with, but and I haven't put them in like they haven't been tested, they ain't been in nobody else's gym to spar or nothing like that, because I'm taking it slow with them because they are interested, and if I keep them interested and then I could slowly work with them to show them, hey, look, this is what it's gonna feel like when you get punched in your head, So I spar with them, and then I'm teaching them, so I don't just bring them to someone's gym to get beat up.
That's right.
I just feel like you take care of your fighters, and then they'll take care of you.
That's right. Yeah. That people. Your coach is like your dad, man.
Yeah.
You trust him on a level. That man's family.
I mean, he's putting you in the ring.
I know. So, I know, man. I know that.
I mean, it ain't like back in the day. My uncle, he'd just walk in and throw the book on there, and whoever picked it up, that's who you fighting tonight.
That's right. Yep.
But he trusted me, and I trusted him. Yep. So, and it was, it was better.
Yeah, well, keeping them books, the USA Boxing.
I got all mine.
I know, bro. I remember that.
I got.
Those are so like it's so fun. They still do that.
They still do it.
Still do it.
Yeah.
Yep. I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I got a kid. He's got 6 fights. He's 12 years old. They'd be matching people and stuff like that. The USA Boxing, it's there's a lot of parameters. There's a lot of stipulations and stuff like that.
I think it got more politic.
No, man.
It's too much politic.
I know.
And then now there's other avenues you can go. I mean, everybody ain't trying to go to the Olympics. I mean, what you going to the Olympics for? You about to have to pay taxes on your gold medal when you come back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's such a weird. The Olympics was the pinnacle.
Yeah, that's how you became something in professional boxing. Yeah, but now it's not like that.
To win like regional tournaments or try to qualify and get a spot on the Olympic team was like everything. Back. And we saw this last Olympics. I mean, I don't even know what's going on. I wasn't invested one way or the other, but I'm just like, just all the controversy around everything. I'm like, Jesus Christ, everything's so analyzed and magnified.
Intense.
Intense. That's what I mean. Yeah, just like so like. Gosh, just all the time. So I know, man, that makes you just check out, and you're like, I don't even have an opinion, man.
Yeah,
I don't even have an opinion.
I feel like the best route to it now is to get in there, get in some of these promotions, get your few fights on your belt.
Sure.
Then you can turn pro and do whatever you got to do because you ain't got to go nowhere. I mean, now it's all social media. All you got to do something on social media, and you're famous.
Yep. Yeah, marketing yourself as a fighter and marketing yourself. It's attractive to sponsors. It's attractive to just getting eyes on you, man. That's what I tell a lot of guys who like they're pros and stuff like that. But like, I know it sounds simple, but like not even having a fighter page.
Yeah.
Like just create a business page for your fighter and just put up little training videos or whatever like that. Just little tips or whatever. There's a lot you can do, man, to just like build yourself. But you want to be marketable in a certain way. It's how you carry yourself, man. I did a whole podcast on this about like how to like navigate a fight career and treat yourself like a business and all that.
Yeah.
And risk reward analysis, and some fights you don't need them.
Yeah.
Some fights you do.
Yeah. So, some of them you gotta test yourself, and some of them you're like, man, I ain't gotta worry about this dude right now. Hey, what am I gonna gain or what am I gonna lose? If they don't bring nothing to the table, we don't need to talk about it.
That's right. Yeah, having a business approach to certain things like that. But yeah, that's a fascinating part of it, man. Hey, what would be your? I ask everybody this. What would be your advice to a Southern Hand Slugfest fighter specifically? Sign up for the first time. It's his debut. He's nervous. He's been training. He comes in there. And he's like, Hunter, man, what you got for me, man? What's your advice, brother?
I tell them protect yourself at all times and come forward and throw punches. Yep. And I mean, because you're gonna have to test yourself, and you're gonna be tested.
Yep.
But don't worry about getting knocked out. Don't worry about getting hit, because if you're worrying about that, that's what's gonna happen.
Yep.
You just gotta go in there, train, fight like you train.
Yep.
If you didn't train hard, you ain't gonna do too good.
That's exactly right.
If you train your ass off, you're you're gonna be something.
Yeah, you'll surprise yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you put the work in behind the scenes, you will surprise yourself. It usually comes to the surface on fight night. I like what Orso said. Jonathan Orso was like, when the advice question came up, he said, "Go ahead and get it out of your head. You're gonna get hit.
Yeah,
You're gonna get hit. Go ahead. And
you're gonna get hit.
Don't get surprised in there once you get hit. Don't just accept that right now. You're gonna get hit. So what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You got to overcome it. If you don't, you're gonna check out.
That's it.
You know?
Don't check out. You don't shy away. So yeah, that's exactly right, man. Yeah, that's good advice.
And I think that's what happens to some of these guys that it was my second one. No, it was my very first one. My very first one. I remember the dude came in, he weighed in, he got checked by the doctor, and walked straight out the door. Went, got in his car and left.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That's right.
He did. I think it was I think it was my first fight with the promotion because I was fighting middleweight.
He never.
He weighed in. I think he got checked by the doctor too, and he left.
Yeah, he drove off.
Yeah.
Imagine
just getting cold feet like that. Like, man, if you feel like if you doubt yourself at any point in time before you sign up, don't start doubting yourself after you sign up. You need to think about this hard before you sign up.
And even from like position of me, I'm like, bro, that's like disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you wanted to back out a couple of weeks ago, that's okay, man. You just don't want to do it. That's okay. I don't want to. Who doesn't want to do it?
This is an hour and a half before the fight.
I could have replaced you.
Yeah.
And
now you chop the bracket up.
Messing me up. I got an odd number now. I got to do workarounds and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff people don't see. But yeah, guys have done that before. They've gotten all the way to step 9. I've gotten guys hands wrapped. And we're 10 minutes before the opening bell, and they go, "Rick, I don't feel good, man. I don't feel good." I'm like, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did.
I'm not going to talk anybody into fighting who doesn't want to fight.
Yeah.
You telling me out? And they're like, yeah, I ain't got the stomach for it tonight. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You should have said this. You didn't have the stomach a couple of weeks ago when you signed up.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's different.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've been fighting all my life, so I know what to expect to get in the ring. Even when I stepped out for 7 years, I knew what they're expecting when I got in the ring. I was just worried about my skills at that point in time.
That's right.
I didn't know if I was going to be able to let my hands go like I wanted to, my footwork or nothing. That's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
So, but for a first person that's coming in, just make sure that you want to be there. If you don't want to be there, then you can't compete. You ain't gonna be able to compete.
Yep.
You're gonna talk yourself out of it. And it's going to be the day of the fights, and it's going to be like right before you walk in the ring.
Yeah.
And it's to me, that's more embarrassing to myself.
That's right.
Not because most people ain't going to even see it when he comes and tells you, because he's going to be like, hey, let me talk to you.
He's
He's going to pull you over to the corner where there ain't nobody there, and then he's going to tell you he's going to leave. And then, it's to me, but to myself, that would be embarrassing. I could not walk up to you like, look, man, I've been training for 12 weeks, and I don't know. There's a couple of dogs in here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat them. I'm gonna leave. No, we fighting.
Yeah, we're here, man.
We're here.
I know, man. I appreciate that about you. And that mentality is why you've gotten where you've gotten. And not everybody's like that, man. What would you say to guys about just like managing your mind, the crowd, maybe adrenaline spikes? It's a weird night.
Yeah.
With the adrenaline throughout the night, you got to go calm down. Mm-hmm. You might be sitting out for an hour and a half, waiting on everybody to cycle through in the semifinals. The emotional roller coaster that it is, you know what I'm saying? What would you say about just adrenaline management and calming your mind between fights and between fights and what to say to yourself throughout it?
To me, because like when you're going to get in the ring, your adrenaline's when my adrenaline starts pumping right when I get that headgear put on or my gloves, But that's when I start. That's like when that light switch I turn over. Like I check everybody out, everybody around me. It's just me and him. I know who I'm fighting now. Now we know what we got to do. Yeah. So in between, before I even go to the ring, it's like it's different levels. Once I get in the ring, I don't even hear the crowd no more. It's like I'm in there with them because you got to tune everybody out. A crowd could get you beat.
That's right.
Because if you're listening to the crowd, you might get knocked out. Because if he's telling you to do something, you don't think that dude don't hear you.
Sure.
So you gotta pick your battles.
That's right.
So but I do feel like to the people that don't have that mentality that haven't been fighting forever or whatever, that just coming into it, to me, I just be yourself.
That's right.
Just don't worry about the last event that you did. Don't worry about what's going on right then and there. Do what you gotta do. What you gotta do in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, and embrace the moment.
Yeah, embrace the moment.
That's what this is.
But you got to turn that switch off.
Turn that switch.
When you in between the fights.
Yep.
So like you turn that switch on whenever you feel like. But to me, I turn it on when I'm about to get gloved up. Yep. I turn it off as soon as the bell rings at the last of the third round. So even if I lose, the switch is off.
It's over.
Because you can't get mad that way. You know. Yep. And I learned that. You know. I mean. I've been through a lot, so I mean, I got anger problems sometimes when it ain't going my way. I get mad, but you know, you got to overcome that. That's what I learned through my fights. You know, like before I get in the ring, the switch turns on. Mm-hmm. When I end of that round, the last round, when I'm getting all my stuff taken off, that switch is coming off because you can be stupid. You know.
Yeah. It's such a, like I said, the scope of the whole night, just the behind the scenes, you know, and I know. You know, you show up, you don't know who you're fighting first. You start getting in line with these guys.
You're sizing them up.
There's 2 different weight classes or 3 different weight classes that night. You're looking around. Some people you know, some people you don't know. People are chatting. Mm-hmm. You know, you're just around each other. You start talking. Everybody's on stage getting their hands wrapped together. It's just a tense.
And I love that shit. I do. I'm telling you, I love that because like it's nothing better than you sitting in a room with all these people.
Yeah.
You're not fighting all of them, but you're fighting some of them, and they're watching you. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I like that because I feel like a dog when you go in there and you win these fights. You're like, man, this dude watched me. Okay. This dude was in there with me. Yep. It wasn't, and you just didn't beat some Joe Blow over here.
Sure.
You was in there with him. They seen you, then you seen them.
That's right. Yeah, you know? It's a cool progression through the night too, because like you said, you watch these guys, the other winners in your weight class, and you're like, you're probably gonna run into that guy.
Yeah, and see, like on a regular boxing night, you don't ever see that guy. That dude's over in that dressing room. The only time you see him is when y'all walk out to the ring.
That's right. Yep.
And that could be good to some people, but but the people that come from that to this, I think it'd psych them out.
Yep.
Because they're like, oh man, I'm in here with all of these people. I can't act the way I usually act.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I had a guy like that. He had a lot of amateur experience. He's like, man, this is totally different.
It's different.
I said, that's the point.
Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be. I mean, we ain't trying to duplicate USA boxing.
No. I don't want to. If I want to do that, I throw amateur boxing shows.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that. That's what is so unique about it is there's a lot of stuff people don't see behind the scenes and all this stuff. You know, just the intensity of the rule speech.
I mean, I love it. I know. Everybody's like, man, I done heard it. I said, I hear 1,000 more times. Because like you said, I like being in that room and now they're watching you.
Well, I tell them that. They sometimes they say that, but they're like, no, I'm actually going to miss it when I'm ineligible.
Oh, yeah. When you're,
I said, miss it one day.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it right now. It's the ride. And respect that I have a lot of debuts here.
Yeah, you got to.
I got a lot of debuts here.
And then they might not know what's going on, and they might have a question. You can be like, look, bro, this is what that means.
Sure.
You know, you can't do that. You know, right. And usually most of us, you know, don't ever talk in it. But if they don't they have a question, and they're not able to get to you right away, or ask one of the judges, or you know, us people that's been there, you know, can say, hey, man, you can't go in there and hit the dude behind the head, you know.
Talk to a veteran fighter.
Yeah.
Talk to it.
So you can I've talked to people in there before. Oh, is it can you spin around? No, you can't spin around. Yeah, you can't do none of that. It's just it's boxing, but you got 1 minute round. You know, you slug it out.
Yep, that's right. That's in essence, that's what it is. You know, just a fun offensive event with sprinkles of defense. We want, you know, but it's about going and having fun and letting your hands go, man, and see what you got and testing yourself in a different kind of formatted tournament. And no, it's fun, man. It's a good build up. We there in 4.5 weeks, brother. We're gonna.
I love it.
Hyped up.
I love it.
Yeah.
I see it. And like before when he was asking me how do you like when you're not fighting, you're in the crowd. And man, it's just the same exact feeling because now I know I'm there to do a job.
That's right. Yep.
So, like it's more a little more intense because I'm not relaxed. I ain't hanging out. You know, I'm there to do a job. So, but I like it both the same.
Yeah,
you know, it don't matter if I'm fighting or if I'm not fighting. You know, I'll just look because I love being there for this promotion.
That's right.
Like this promotion is like I'll tell you hands down. If I did ever make it big, I'll be like I will say this promotion like this Southern Hand Slugfest.
Thank you, brother.
Every single time.
That means a lot to me, bro. For real, you don't know what that means to me, man. Because it's just, man, like building a brand.
It's hard, and people, and so you got haters that try to bring you down. You got to beat them just to even put your platform out there.
Yeah, like Dana White said this. Excuse my language, y'all. Dana White said, yeah, so you want to start your own promotion, huh? Like, yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm going to be friends with all the fighters. It's going to be all sunshine, you think, huh? Like Dana White said this. He goes, every day someone's trying to fuck you over.
Every time.
He goes, dude, listen, like, you're at war with copycats and wannabes and silent hate. They waiting for you to fall, baby. And every time you announce that next event, they're like, damn, this motherfucker keeps going. He keeps going.
It's
and I'm like, I'm gonna make sure.
And that's what I told thousands of people this. Like everybody asks me, how's the venue? I tell them, I said, man, you can bring your daughter, you can bring your kid there. I bring my daughter.
Yep.
So that's the first thing I tell them, because you tell someone that, they're like, because they might not have to look for a babysitter now.
Sure.
So now not only did they just buy 2 tickets, they just bought 2 more tickets or 3 more tickets.
Yeah, and maybe it sparks an interest in their kid.
And then in their kid,
right. Yeah, maybe it's like, Mom, I want to take a self-defense class. I want to take a boxing class.
Or just anything.
It's a spread. It's the love of it all, man.
And then it's all and everything around it, because you got, like you said, you got sponsors there. That person might need something, and they see that sponsor, and then they go, and now you got them hooked up. Right. So it's just a great environment all the way around.
Yep. Hunter Watts representing the Southern Style Heating and Air Hat, make air conditioning great again. One of my favorite sponsors. You know those guys, Corey Griffin and Danny Thompson?
Yeah. I know. I liked it, man.
That's my boys,
yeah,
man.
they're good.
Yeah, they're great dudes, man. Yeah, I love them. They've been with me since day one. Months before my first event, they wrote that check. We believe in you. We're gonna put my logo on you. They've been with me every step of the way. But yeah, that's one of the
and that's great.
Yeah, I love it, man. People like that. You need people like that. That's what I'm talking about the community, man. Like, bro, I can't throw these events without sponsors.
No.
I need people. I need people like that. So yeah, guys step up for me, man. They believe in what we're doing, and they love the events. They're fun, man. They're memorable. You get a lot of action, man, and you get a lot of action. It's a lot of fights and a lot of knockouts and a lot of close fights and ups and downs, and you root your person. You get your bang for your buck. You come here and you come to support your coworker, your cousin, whoever it is. You might see them fight 4 times instead of 1 time. You really get your bang for your buck, man.
Yeah, and it's just a fun environment.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's like if somebody says, "Man, what am I going to do tonight?" Be at Sutherland Slugfest, October 26th, because it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, man. Always, we'll never let you down in that regard. That ain't going to happen ever. I'm too dedicated. I'm too driven with this. I live and breathe it, man. But you're always going to be a part of this, brother.
Yeah.
Even when you're far past done.
I'm coming to them. I'll be there. Everyone.
Yeah, it means a lot, man. I love guys showing back up for me. I saw guys who fought for me like a year and a half ago, just randomly sitting up in GA last time. I happened to walk around up in GA. I was going to get something. They're like, "What's up, Rick?" And like guys who hadn't fought for me in like a year and a half, and like, just coming to support, brother.
Yeah.
They bought GA tickets, drove from Louisiana. Well, 2 of them drove from Memphis. They just came and watched the show.
Yeah, I love that. And that means you're doing something great. Yep. I mean, and this is a great. It's like I've always told you.
Yeah, man.
Like from the very first event, I said this is a great. Like if it's just everything goes in order, everything flows. It's just it's organized.
Yeah.
Most promotions, man, you go there. Oh, the fight started at 6, and then all of a sudden the fights ain't starting till 7:30 because you got 5 people who just backed out, and now you got to keep people here to keep drinking or whatever.
It's crazy, man. The people, a lot of events, they do have like disorganized, like an entire thing on my rule speech is flow of event. Remember I talked about that flow of event. Who's up next? These guys are standing on deck. They're next on the circle. And Scotty Laurie is like
on top of it.
Behind the scenes, by the way. Scotty Laurie, shout out to him. Known that man over 20 years. My lead expediter. But yeah, that's the guy I trust to help me with something like that.
And he is. He's on spot on.
Keep it flowing, man. We try to minimize intermissions unless the fighters need a longer break. I have a countdown. I know exactly how long, where we're at tonight. Quarterfinals, semifinals, where are we at? This guy's fought 3 times. This guy's fought.
Yeah, like I remember on the fight when I fought what's his name, Seth. When I fought Seth, he we had to do like a little 15 intermission because he had the bye on that one. Yep. So right before I fought Jay.
That's right. And I had no heavyweights that night either.
Yeah.
So it was even quicker. So I was like, Hunter, you good? Because you had just fought Jay.
Jay, yeah.
You had just fought Jay, and you were like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure. I want to make sure everybody gets ample time. That's a good time where I could do like a raffle winner. My ring girl will throw some t-shirts out. We'll buy time.
Do some more promotion stuff.
I do knockout of the night before the finals to give y'all extra break. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do that.
Yeah.
I do, and the reason I do knockout of the night, but between the semis and the finals is like after the finals, people pour out of the building. I want them to see who the knockout of the night winner was. So sometimes we've had really good knockouts in the finals, but I already gave it out.
No.
I want everybody to see who got knocked. So that, and it, like you said, when you go from 4 to 2 in a bracket, there ain't much rest. So I'm trying to buy y'all time. Thanks sponsors. I'm in there giving out KO awards. That's why we do that. You know? So,
and like I said, it's perfect. Like it. Everybody, and I feel like all the other fighters like it too.
Yeah, they do, man. Yeah, I've gotten great compliments about that, and yeah, man, it's been fun. We're gonna keep going, brother, and we're gonna have a Southern Hand Slugfest 13, December 20th to close out the year. Friday event, 5 days before Christmas. That'll be fun. What do you think about Michael Snoddy versus Jonathan Orso? What do you think about that matchup, man?
I think it's great. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to bring a lot of people, because everybody knows Snoddy and everybody knows him, and they're both. Snoddy's 3-time and he's 2-time.
Yep.
So, like me and Moses, somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to make that extra step. So I feel like it's going to be a good fight. I feel like, like me and Moses, it's going to be built up. Everybody's been asking. Everybody's been just the same thing. I just feel like these two guys, they're both skilled. Both of them can knock anybody out in the heavyweight division. So I feel like it's going to be an explosive fight. Yeah. And it's going to be a good one. Yeah. It's going to put the crowd in there. Yeah, it'll be fun, sure. Man. They've been circling each other for a while. It'll be a lot of fun. And Hercules is in that bracket too. So see, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it just gets bigger and bigger. So it builds the fights. Yep. Yeah, I got a couple of guys, just like I was telling you about some of the lightweight debuts nobody knows about yet. I got a couple of guys in that bracket nobody knows about. They're gonna cause some disruptions. Yeah, and that's what you gotta have. Yep. That's what keeps people on their toes. You don't get in there and get lazy. Sure. Not do I like. I'll tell you this. I like when people and no shade on anybody or anything like that, but I like when people just they hear a name or I make those fighter posts and they're absolutely sure that guy's gonna win. Like I've gotten that before. Where like I'll announce a guy and they'll be like, dude, he's gonna run through everybody, and he doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't. I had that actually when you fought Caleb Guillory at your first tournament. The guy he fought after you was a guy named Reeves Davis. You know this guy? You know Reeves? Yeah, I know Reeves. Reeves is a belt collector. That dude's got a picture of himself on a beach with like 6 different MMA promotions in his weight, like 185 champ. That dude, and I think he's like 11-1 in MMA. I mean, I remember a couple people I trust a lot was like, dude, he's gonna run through everybody. I said, no, he's not. But he had a lot of submission wins. I said, no, Southern Hand Slugfest is different. He needs to meet somebody. So that's right. And that's what I noticed about him. Yeah, and so he got in there, and he's a terrific shit, man. I honestly, that dude's gonna be in the UFC one day. I really do think he is. I think he's gonna be in the UFC one day. But Southern Hand Slugfest is just a different formula. And when he got in there, I was like, oh, okay, well, he looks like a good, tough. He's a big, strong heavyweight. Caleb beat him. Guillory, after he fought you, Caleb beat him. Yeah, and like everybody was like, dude, he's gonna dog walk everybody. And I was like thinking, no one knew who Caleb Guillory's name was. Caleb Guillory ain't even got Facebook. Yeah, like and see, and it is different. Like, cause when you go from that mat to a boxing ring, sure, you can roll around on that mat for 5 minutes, and they'll tell you, you get in a boxing ring for a minute. It's totally different. Yep. And that's the same thing from us. Like if we go to a mat, of course, there ain't no way. Of course, we don't do that. Of course, yeah. So, and I felt like I knew that was going to be the transition. When he tried to make that transition. Yep. Yeah. I didn't know if you knew that name or not, but yeah, he was in that bracket with y'all. Like I got so many messages about him. Where like he's going to kill everybody. I was like, but like no one even knew the bracket with me. I was like, Hunter Watts is in this, Caleb Guillory's in there. Like I was just like, man, I was like listing off guys. Charles Brown, remember that dude? Yeah. He won the whole thing. Yeah, he's from Pensacola. Yeah, I was like, Charles Brown is a crafty body. Yeah, look how good he looked. Yeah. Chase Wolford was in that bracket. You know Chase Wolford. Yeah, Chase is a dog. Yeah, he had the knockout of the night. Knockout of the night. Remember that one? Yeah, I think it was like, 3 seconds? 11. And that was with the glove touch included. Yeah. So it was Chase Wolford was in that bracket. Brandon Brewer. You know Brewer, don't you? Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, man, y'all underestimating these guys. Man, these guys come to
It was a stack night.
stat night, man. I'm telling you, like you made your debut that one. I was like, and Snotty was talking me up, and I was like, man, just I know Hunter's badass. Just tell him to take this seriously, bro.
Yeah.
Just tell him to take it seriously. Yeah, there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of dude. I'm sitting a couple of feet away from all these guys. These guys come to fight, baby.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
People come. You
They come to fight.
Like I said earlier, you got to respect whoever gets in that ring with you.
100%, man. Yeah. That's always great wisdom, and man, it's been fun. It's been a fun journey, man. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait, brother. It's just building up more and more. So we'll be announcing a lot of 2025 stuff. So you'll definitely still have some eligibility after this next event. So be excited to talk about the future and planning and plotting it right. So you're on 12 fights right now. So you're working your way towards that. For people who don't know, just for context purposes, I set a 20 fight limit with Southern Hand Slugfest. You can have 20 Southern Hand Slugfest fights unless you're mid bracket. Like if you're in the 18, yeah, like that's what happened with Adam Nash. He was mid bracket, so he ended up getting 22 fights. I'm not going to pull you from a bracket because you get 20. So you get to finish the tournament you're in, but so I created that contest, and it's a good rule, man.
Yeah,
I don't want to scare debuts off. It starts getting intimidating.
Because that's how it is in amateur boxing.
Right.
Because once you get 20 fights, you're open.
That's right.
It ain't no more.
Whole different category.
Different.
Yep. So that's a rule, but yeah, man. So it and also it creates a sense of urgency. You treat every fight like it's your last. You want to go out with a bang. You're climbing the rankings, and you're doing certain things. You're setting records, and that'll stand for a long time. So it creates a sense of urgency to make them all count. And pick your tournament when you're feeling your best, and then go out with a bang. So man, it's built up great, man. But yeah, in closing, man, you just want to thank anybody who's helped you along the way, brother. You got any people who've just been staunch supporters of yours you want to shout out, man? Just people who've always been in your corner no matter what, man. Who are your rock solid people, bro? I like talking about those kind of people. Those kind of people.
My family for sure. My brother Blade and my dad and my stepdad Ron and my mom and just pretty much them. And my daughter for sure. First and foremost, she's 100%. Always got me. And I asked her before my very first fight. I was like, you want to see Daddy? Because she's always heard about Daddy's fight. And I said, you want to see your Daddy fight? She said, yeah. So I really didn't know how she was going to react to it, but she did. She reacted. So now she's all in the gym when I'm training. She's there. So it's just that's my rock solid.
You told me when you sat one out, she was like, Daddy, why aren't you fighting? She was mad you weren't fighting.
Here. The last show, we were sitting there, and she was like, Daddy, ain't you supposed to be fighting? I'm like, oh yeah, you just think you just sitting right here, and then
That's funny, man. Yeah, people like that, man. You got a good support system around you. People who love you.
Like my friends, like Josh Cook. He's always came to all my fights. He makes sure that he's going to be there regardless.
Yep.
Him and his wife. So I do appreciate that.
That's right, man.
He even sponsored it. And Michael Moser too. He has sponsored it.
That's right. So Michael's done it, and Cook's auto transmissions. Yep. That's right. Yeah, man. That's they believe in you, brother. They love you, man. And
so I know we got a big support system. So that's another reason why I do a lot of what I do, and it makes me train harder.
Yeah, it does.
I ain't just thinking about myself. I'm thinking about my daughter want me to do it.
That's
I'm thinking about the people that forked out money just to come see me do it.
That's what I always say, man. Like those people, they spend money and then they're spending that Saturday night. Mm-hmm. They could be doing anything. Yeah. They're there for you. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's just putting on a show for your people, man. It's something I hope everybody always thinks about. It's important. So I'm gonna make sure from a promotion standpoint they have a great experience. Yeah. But then you got to get in the ring and do your thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have those people, man. Those rock solids, man. I got people like that in my life, man. We're like, I always say, like, you got business hour friends, and then you got some after hour friends, and then you got a couple of 2 a.m. friends. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta keep them like the 2 a.m. You gotta keep this one over here after hours, but you gotta keep production over here. Yep. There's times when you go have fun, and there's times when you gotta get serious about business.
Yep.
So I got that too. So I feel like it's a great thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on here, brother. I'm definitely happy for another episode. I want to do a thing I was telling all these guys, like 3 or 4 people on at once, and maybe after an event, we just do a little post-event recap. We all sit down. What'd you think of this debut? What was your favorite fight of the night?
I think it'll be fun. I think we do a big one, and we'll have fun.
Yeah, fresh off an event, like a week later, it's fresh in everybody's mind and stuff like that. I could even pull up a thing where we rewatch a couple of highlights and stuff. Yeah, so I was thinking about doing that with just like established guys, bringing them all on. Tell me what you think about this guy, that guy, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'll definitely have you on again, brother. And,
yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate you and your wife, man. Y'all, you did a lot. I mean, because you don't understand where I was at in my life when I stepped back into the ring. Like I didn't ever think I was ever going to box again. But that gave me that sense of urgency, like gave my life back. Like when I told you when I said I ain't comfortable when I'm outside the ring, I ain't comfortable. Like, I'm comfortable when I know I'm getting ready for a fight. I feel better. Like I'm happy. I'm talking. When I ain't talking and I ain't laughing, I'm going through it in my head.
Yeah. No, man, you shine through, man, and you're what helps me because. Dude, I don't front with anybody. I always tell them like it is. Like, I like you outside the ring. Like, I don't care if you never fight again. You're my boy now. I appreciate what you've done for this promotion. You've bled and sweat for this promotion. You promoted it well. You share posts even when you're not competing. So you've been a 24/7 supporter, 365. And me and my wife both appreciate that compliment, man. We work real hard. I'm glad it's given so many people purpose and support. And we ain't going anywhere.
Oh, no.
We're not going anywhere. So there's a couple people out there who think we're going somewhere. It ain't gonna last.
Yeah, we're going somewhere. And it's gonna be in different states. It's gonna be all over national TV.
I promise you. You don't know my work ethic. So we appreciate the supporters so much. We cannot do it without y'all. God bless everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and everybody have a good week and weekend. Onward and upward. Thank you.